Morning traders, and this is your Aussie South African top 40 day trade setup for today. So yesterday was a pretty range-bound day, but we did close on our low, and the interesting thing is here that we are in the channel. We didn't break out the channel, and we've closed at the 50% of the previous bar. That is a piercing pattern. Okay, so a break below the low of yesterday, I'll put that level in for us now, triggers the next move to the downside. And this is messier, so let's see how this one works out. That'll probably work out anyway. So that triggers moves to the downside, and your measured move takes us pretty much down to come and test this inside bar here, which would be the bottom of the channel. Okay, trend is down on the daily, so it does make sense. Trend on the 4 hour is not really anywhere at the moment. We're trying to break through the alligator, and the alligator is trying to make a turn, but I don't think that is going to happen. And then we have had a break on the 3 hour, which is indicating a bit of a trend change. So what we're looking for really is some kind of structure here. Now, bear in mind that there is still this gap to the upside. Okay, so that gap also lines up with our channel pretty convincingly. And we've got a 200 EMA up there. So that is kind of a possibility, but looking at the daily, that piercing pattern, I don't know, I think that's a level we need to pay attention to. So this break here, let's just get to the hour because that's going to give us a little bit more information. Okay, so you can see we had this downward trend, and then we've had 2 days of upward trend. We now have this bullish pattern, bullish pattern, bullish pattern, bullish pattern, bullish pattern. So it's inside, 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 inside. Okay, and then this, which doesn't fit inside everything else. But pretty much the inside bars is all these bodies fit into the previous body. This is the only one that's kind of just in there, but they all fit inside the previous body. So that is normally an indication that we're going to break to the upside. Okay, however, not really that convinced based on what we saw on the low price, on the low time frames yesterday. So right now it's all about fractal breaks, and the one fractal break that we need to pay attention to is the low of yesterday, and the other one is that fractal there at 49,144. And I'm going to take those off the 12 minute. The half hour is exactly the same structure. The 12 minutes, we may get a cleaner entry. Yes, we do. No, we don't. I suppose we could. So there is an upside fractal. A break of that fractal would break the alligator to the upside. Okay, and we're looking at 49,036, or alternatively 48,845. Those are the two fractals that we're looking at. Now, in typical Aussie fashion, it's 200-point fractal. If you look at the 12 minutes, the trend is currently to the downside. So we were up, trend was up the day before, pretty strongly. We've gone sideways. You can see this is a proper range day. I just use this level here. You can see how we kept buying and selling off this level. So we haven't got a clean break of this range yet. But if I look at the alligator, we've broken through the alligator. We've tested the alligator with that pin bar. My bias is more downside. Okay, if we do break out the range to the upside, I change my tune, but basically watch out for that the channel at the top, and pretty much right up here where the gap is at 49,525. Okay, currently what we're looking at is the rand dollar is sitting at 15.25. Much change from yesterday, a couple of cents. 10 cent is sitting at 0.31 up. US markets were all over the place yesterday. I think the Dow finished 0.5% down and the Nasdaq finished 0.7% down. But we do have sort of a flat futures market at the moment, and China is ever so slightly down. So I think a lot of people are waiting and seeing what's going on the political landscape as well as the trade war. But for me, pretty simple. I'm going to delete all the noise. So that was, if we look at yesterday, those were our two fractals there. Okay, we got the break to the upside, came back down, faked out, and got the break to the downside as well and hovered. So yeah, I mean, I took this trade, got stopped out. Not the end of the world, but we'll make it back. And when it ranges like this, it's very difficult to actually get in on the trade and make some kind of a headway. So, as it stands now, those are the two levels I'm interested in. This low of yesterday is definitely a pretty strong trade in my opinion. Okay, because on the daily, that is a piercing pattern and that validates a fairly big move on the higher time frames. Okay, you can see it back below the alligator here. There's a whole lot of things that would transpire and wouldn't quite break this trend line, which is the next thing that we need to pay attention to. So let's see if there's another fractal break. Not really. So this area here is fairly interesting. So depending how we break this fractal, so if it sort of just hovers like this for the first hour and then moves to the downside, that'll break the fractal and the trend line. Double whammy, which will give you a little bit more confidence. Okay. Whatever you do, you've got two stop areas. So the first one is 49.036. Just watch out for that one, because often what happens from 9 to like 9:15, you'll get a fake out in the opposite direction and then a move into the right direction. Okay, if you're trading the daily, then what you'd be doing is you'd be looking for a break here and you'd be looking for a stop all the way up there at 500 points. Okay, anyway guys, that's my view today. Just this trend line here is fairly solid. We've got to it depends how you want to draw it, but there's typically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts at this level. And okay, let's just, before we go, let's just delete this. And let's put it in from there. And you'll see now why I want to do that. Okay, so that was a fairly strong trend line. 1, 2, 3, call that 4, 5. Tested it, broke through it, and we've retested there. Okay, so for me the bias is the downside. Ideally looking for a break below the low of yesterday. Alternatively, what we're looking for is another attempt to test the break of the trend line up at this area, 49.036 area, then nice entry short with a stop above this fractal here. Okay, 49.142. So those are the two trades. Back to test the alligator and trend line break, then you're up there. Okay, alternatively you're in on this break and your stop is above that fractional. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch you later. Cheers for now.